But no, let's talk about, before we get into overall takeaways of the weekend, I do want to mention the fact that on Sunday, Kris Letang played his 900th NHL game for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He is the fourth player in Penguins history to hit the 900 game mark behind, of course, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Mario Lemieux. But even more importantly and more, significantly for him, he is the first and only Pittsburgh Penguin to play 900 games in the black and gold. Horwat, before we get into our beliefs, I do have his quote about what he felt like and how, or what it means, I should say, for him to play 900 games in this franchise.
I mean, it's awesome, obviously, to have the chance to play with those guys for that many games. It's just been an unbelievable ride, winning 3 cups with these guys, being part of this organization. It's special, As a kid, you don't think it's gonna happen, and here I am, just playing with probably the one of the best players that ever played a game.
So that's Kris Letang on playing 900 games with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and specifically playing with guys like Evgeny Malkin, Sidney Crosby, talking about the Stanley Cups they've won, the success they've had. It really, you hear it and you see it when you see the video, how important it is for him to be a part of this organization. Horwat, what I want to ask to you about this is, what do you believe his legacy will be in Pittsburgh as of right now? Obviously, the book is not over. The chapters are still yet to be written. But what do you think as of right now his legacy will be in Pittsburgh?
Looking back at him as the greatest defenseman to play for the Penguins.
Yeah.
Ever. That's really it. And everything that comes with being everything that comes with being that of that stature and given that title. Because for what Paul Coffey did, the longevity for him was not here in this city. I mean, Paul Coffey bounced around way more than anyone wants to give credit for. But he set the standard for Letang to come up and just raise the bar. It's 900 games of, playing damn near 30 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Being the Iron Man, battling through every injury imaginable on and off the ice. It's stuff of well-deserved legend. Like I mentioned, he's already looked at, in my eyes, as the greatest defenseman in Penguins history. That will only continue, and it's going to take one hell of a superstar to cross that path for the Penguins. Mm-hmm. So for a long time coming, he'll be looked at as the greatest defenseman in Penguins history, and who knows if that will ever change or how long that'll take. Does he reach 1,000? That's yet to be seen, really, but that's probably the next big milestone for him, unless there's some points thing that I'm missing. But regardless, he's where he stands. It can't be topped.
Mm-hmm. When I think about Letang and his legacy, I know there were a couple of years there where I was not the biggest fan of Kris Letang, and he went through a little bit of a stretch there where nobody was a big fan of Kris Letang. Yeah. He was struggling, and he turned his game around, and especially when the Penguins brought back Todd Reirden, it seemed like that rejuvenated him even further. And now he's a player that, I would not be surprised if he finished in the top 5, top 10 of Norris Trophy voting. He deserves to be there as the sample size and what he's put on the ice this year. So when I think of his legacy in Pittsburgh, I agree with you. Greatest defenseman in Pittsburgh Penguins history. Easily.
Yeah. You mentioned the Norris Trophy thing. It's a damn shame he's never come close to one yet.
Yeah.
That just happens, though, when you play in a league that has all of a sudden seen a lot of very skilled defensemen come back. Mm-hmm. Or I think we discussed this at minimum a couple weeks ago or last week or something. It hurts that he's never made an Olympic team either. Just bad luck for those years.
Yeah.
This could have been a good year for him, maybe. It's hard to cross over Cale Makar, I guess.
True.
But who knows? He could have been a reserve, been mentioned on the team in the running for it, given a tryout, whatever it may be. Being able to have these discussions, the possibility of a Vezina candidacy, or thinking he should have been invited to the Olympics if NHL players are going. At 35, it's incredible that there's been no slowdown yet.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'd love to see him on the Norris ballot for sure. I also think that along with being the greatest defenseman in Penguins history, retired number, we've had that discussion. Should it be retired? Yes. You know what? Yeah. At this point, and again, there's still chapters to be written. This is a team that is focused on winning a Stanley Cup, the 4th of his career and the 4th of this core. Should they retire his number? I think that's almost a certainty at this point. And the Pittsburgh Penguins Hall of Fame, that, again, is a certainty at this point. There's a tweet from our good friend Jesse Marshall on Twitter from yesterday. Quote, 900 games for Letang. Never forget the guts it took from Craig Patrick, who was the general manager of the Penguins at the time, to take him when he did. The game was different in that time. Hadn't gotten to the new rules yet. It was big, hulking defensemen still in vogue. Letang was an outlier, but Patrick saw the direction the game was heading. So thinking about the fact that Kris Letang has played his game for 900 games, back when, he was one of the first. It's like a Marty St. Louis thing. St. Louis was one of the first to be a superstar at his size. I mean, we also have to remember Thier and Fleury. But like Kris Letang's style of defenseman was not as common as it is now. Like that's a dime a dozen now. You have your Cale Makars, your Quinn Hughes, your Adam Foxes especially. But Kris Letang has been that for 900 games in the National Hockey League, and the Penguins would not be where they are without him. And like I said, he's played his best hockey since 2015-16, since Mike Sullivan took over. And if you don't think there's a correlation there, you're dead wrong. And it might be something as simple as the confidence that Sullivan had in him. But whatever has happened, Kris Letang has became can't miss for the Pittsburgh Penguins and has become a huge portion, the third biggest portion, third or fourth. I mean, Jari is right up there for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, he has been. He's been a huge part of the success. I mean, in the great words of Sidney Crosby, what's his streak at?
Yeah, exactly.
It was at a career high going into the Jets game. I don't know if did he score in the Jets game at all? I forget.
He did not get a point in the Jets game. So
there goes that. But it was at a career high going into it. So there's something to be said about that. Again, going at 34, 35 years old, hitting a career high like that now, when you're technically, quote unquote, in NHL terms, past your prime.
Yeah.
That's something special. The fact that we can have these sort of discussions about the greatness that is still going on in the latter ages of Kris Letang, of Evgeny Malkin, of Sidney Crosby. Those are special players. You don't talk about these sort of stats and numbers for 35-year-olds for everyone.
Yeah.
You don't. But these guys, you do.
Yeah. I mean, in the words of, what's his name? Why can't I remember? From The Office, Andy. I wish somebody would tell you that you're in the good old days before they are over. Penguins fans, these are the good old days, so you better enjoy them with Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Kris Letang all in black and gold.